Matchstick Productions reviews.
Bienvenue and welcome to 150 Days of Winter.
Hello! 7 screws, 1 plate. As I ask in every ski film that I review, I ask people to make suggestions of other things that I can review and so on. So someone recently recommended that I review all of Matchstick Productions' ski movies. Now, Matchstick have been making ski movies for over 20 years, one a year. So the likelihood of me being able to review and give insight into videos, 20 of them in one thing, is I can't do that, okay? Matchstick developed a certain format for their ski movies, and without being negative, most of them share exactly the same format. So instead, I'm going to review the first 3 ski movies that Matchstick make, which was surprisingly called Ski Movie 1, 2 and 3. Here, I'm not going to go and review each of these separately and say this is good, this is bad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the film up into certain parts because they all share that certain dissection, I think. I hope that makes sense. But actually, before I do, I've got to bring up a point, okay? When I first watched Ski Movie 1, I saw this in the opening titles. And I thought, oh, wow, Matchstick has got something to do with Paramount, of which I don't think they do. And then it immediately took me to say, why weren't Matchstick sued out of their ski boots, I guess is a nice way of putting it, by Paramount? Because this is so obviously a rip-off. If anyone knows, then please let me know down below. Anyway, back to these movies proper. At the beginning of each of these movies, they have what I'm going to call the opening credits, where they introduce the skiers and the sponsors. What Matchstick did was they made it into a production. Okay, each of the openings of each of these films, you get this like little story that they built. So in Ski Movie 1, you have Brad Holmes turning up, and there is what looks like it's going to be a tracking shot as he walks into a nightclub, and we get to see the skiers, we get to see logos placed in various places. The way it moves around the room and you see all the skiers is brilliant. It's an incredible way of showing all the crew, all the skiers in the movie. Okay, so much so that actually we made a ski movie in Resort many years after this, and we actually made our own version of this opening scene. Just saying. And of course, as you watch it, you notice that we're following a suitcase with a bit of a Pulp Fiction vibe, and as we reach the end, they open the suitcase, we get an even more of a Pulp Fiction vibe as the light shines from this mystery suitcase. Absolutely amazing. I would give this a 9 out of 10. Okay? And, you know, I was going to say 8 out of 10, but the fact that Glenn Blake is working behind the bar, that gives it a lovely 9 out of 10. High Society. And the opening to that is they are carrying on the theme. It's good, but it's just not good as the original. Okay? Again, you have the same logos, you have a few film memes. I was going to say like Ferris Bueller running through the houses, somebody knocking a coffee cup off the kitchen top is a bit Usual Suspects. But anyway, we're following the suitcase still, so we're keeping to that Pulp Fiction vibe. Okay, again, good. Ends up with Shane McConkey jumping out of a plane. Definitely, I'm going to say it's close, but I'm going to give it like an 8. Ski Movie 3, The Front Line, and for this they Oh my god, it was absolute genius. Okay, the intro, the first one is Scott Gaffney introducing a fake trailer for something called Hose, which is 10 out of 10 for puns, okay? Absolutely. And again, you have a bunch of girls cleaning a car, which is covered in logos, and just brilliant. It works on so many different levels. There aren't any skiers. I completely get that. However, we are then taken to a bowling alley where you have another fake film trailer almost, which shows a lot of film tropes of the crew basically bowling and stuff. And again, it's brilliant. Okay, I'm just going to say that it's probably one of the best openings that I've seen to a ski movie. I'm just going to say that out loud. If they literally stopped after the opening, I would have been happy and just gone, you know what? If that was the actual trailer for it, it's not the trailer, it's the intro. I would be like, I want to see that ski movie. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. So, Ski Movie 3 wins the best opening, and it gets a 10 out of 10. And that leads us to the main part of the film, or the juicy meat in the middle. Now, as I said before, Matchstick have created a format of where you have a segment for each skier, and it's just that skier, then we go on to the next skier, next skier, next skier, and so on, which is all fine and good. It's what I would describe, and I've described in the past, as ski porn. There is no attempt at making like a funny little story to link things together. In Ski Movie 1, it starts off with a high point where back in the early 2000s, where this was filmed, Seth Morrison was probably the wunderkind of the ski world, and of course he has the opening scenes, and it's just the stuff he's doing there is mind blowing. Okay. I don't mind what people say. Hey, I went and bought one of his skis. Actually, no, I bought 2 pairs of his skis through the time. Okay, not for his name, but because they're good skis. Anyway, I digress. The first movie there is absolutely fine. It's like nothing special. You even mix in a bit of skidooing as well, again, just to try and break it up. That's all fine and good. Okay. For Ski Movie 1, I would give that, let's say, a 7. When you come to High Society, have much the same, I'm going to say. Okay, the high point of High Society being actually a non-skiing section when Shane McConkey and Miles Dasher go off to Baffin Island and do some base jumping. And I tell you what, if you watch that, there are some times when you are literally seeing, because they're just jumping off cliffs, they're not jumping out of planes, and you're seeing them fall, and you are saying to yourself, pull the cord, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And maybe it's the angles that they're being filmed at, but it's absolutely amazing. And of course, it's Shane McConkey, who is an absolute legend. Okay. However, there is also what I think is the weakest point of Ski Movie 2 is that they rent a boat to go off, and they've got a heli on the boat and everything like this. They spend a bit too much time like looking at the boat. I don't need to see skiers sitting around playing PlayStation and going, hey, we're on a boat. I would say, all in all, that central section, I would give it like a 9, which of course leads us to Ski Movie 3, which I have a personal point to add to this, in the fact that some of it was filmed in Courchevel. I'm actually going to be making another video like this, or not like this. I'm going to be outside and we're not going to be recreating it, but I'm just going to be reviewing what they did and how amazing it was. And the fact that I was actually there watching them do this, not realizing it would end up on a Matchstick film. As we go through, it is rather, it's better than one, as a progression of years better. The one downside is, of course, that the Shane McConkey scene, which is always a high point when it comes to skiing, is cut short almost immediately when, of course, he does his meniscus in. We get zero Shane McConkey, which I know it's not Shane McConkey film, but it gets an easy 8 when you come to the ski action. Of course, we get to see a rather baby-faced Tanner Hall, which again is also amusing, which of course leads us to the end. Why do I say leads us to the end? Because normally on most of these there is a big ending, which is always something that you should I think to keep people in. Okay, in Ski Movie 1 there is no real ending. There's the credits. There are a few like crashes throughout the credits. It's weak. The second movie has a section which is called Minor Threat, where they basically do a compilation of all the skiers who didn't manage to get a full-on segment, which is brilliant. Absolute genius, okay? And it is ended by something that is car crash TV. It is something that you cannot walk away from. There is this guy, I can't remember his name, who is grinding a rail in a place where there was no snow. There's a small patch of snow at the top and at the bottom of the rail. It's quite a long rail, and I don't know his competency, but basically he keeps on going at it, keeps on falling, and each time he falls, he's falling on concrete. He is falling. It is painful. You see, just as a way of each of these shots, you see his salopettes getting dirtier and dirtier, and I don't know how he didn't break something because, and the kid just carries on and on and on, and the last one he does isn't perfect, but I wasn't crying, but it was just like one of those things where you just go, oh my God. This guy's fame is literally jackassing himself at the end of a Ski Movie, which of course then takes us to the end of Ski Movie 3, where you have the final section, which is to the music of the Avalanches, Frontier Psychiatrist. Again, brilliant. It's just got that right amount of energy to finish off a really good film. Just that right level of smaller clips, crashes, and trust me, I don't like to see crashes just for the sake of it, but that's what they've done. And again, it finishes the movie off absolutely perfectly, in my opinion, that is, of course. Which, of course, then leads us to that point where you say, so, Alex, which one of these three is the best? And that is an incredibly tricky question to ask, okay? They all have their high points and low points, okay? For me, there are some bits in this that are better than this, that are better than this. Overall, 2 is a great Ski Movie, okay? Out of those two, this was the original, and I'm going to give it like kudos. This one is an all in all better movie. I would say that I'm going to give this guy an A. I'm going to give this an A plus. And I'm going to give this an A minus. Exactly. Did you agree with me or not? Have I missed something completely brazen or anything like that? Comments down below. If you'd enjoyed this, click the like button. If you're new to this channel and you would like to see more like this, make a suggestion, push the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next film review. Ciao.